You are now listening to the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. Here is your host, Blaine Spencer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. And we are now on episode 2 of our NFL Divisional Breakdown. And we've got my guy who just seems to love to come on the show. He's back within three episodes, the second time in 3 episodes. Joseph Ciccoletti from the Fourth Man Up. And we are talking the NFC South today. Talk about his ATL as he is a Falcons fan, so we'll get him depressed by the end of the show. No big deal. He's got his Mike Williams Tampa Bay jersey on. Joe, how we doing?
What's going on, Blaine? We're back, baby. We are back. Final Whistle. NFC South talk. We're changing jerseys with every team we talk about. So we're starting with the Buccaneers first. Falcons fan, of course, but I got all 4 jerseys from all different teams all over. So we're starting with Mike Williams, a little throwback to the late 2000s. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait to talk. We're throwing this back to like Josh Freeman era here.
You want to know something? You know you're in a dark place when you're talking about Josh Freeman.
I'll tell you what. That's when they wore them phenomenal cream orange jerseys. They were awesome, though.
Well, that's because that was the only time that they actually wanted to throw it back and actually look kind of cool for once in their lives. But those were the unis when they were just getting started, when they came up as that extra team that they were coming in, right? If I'm not mistaken, when they were rocking.
I think so.
And they freaking were like 1-6, like they won like 3 games in like 3 years. It was something horrible.
Yeah. Oh, real quick off the bat, let's start it quick. NFC South teams, you got Tampa Bay, you got Carolina, you got the Falcons, you got the Saints. Throwback jerseys, rank them in order, 1 through 4.
Wow. You gotta go. I gotta go Tampa Bay 1. I love the creamsicle, bro.
They're number 1 for me too. I agree.
Okay.
But, all right. So let me
How about you pick? What are the throwbacks are we thinking here?
So I guess it's throwback / alternatives. I guess would be the word to use here, because the Falcons is pretty standard and Carolina is pretty standard. The Saints really haven't changed too much, but so you got the orange creamsicle for Tampa Bay, or you got the red. The old school red.
Full red.
Yeah, love them too. But then you also, Carolina, got the light baby blue, or you got the old school white when Steve Smith and DeLone were there, or you got the Falcons with the Mike Vick hard red. Love that one. Then the Saints had they're pretty consistent with the black and white or the black and gold.
They have that gold every once in a while, that gold.
Yeah. So those are the jerseys to start out. So let me hear it.
Well, all right, before we do that, what do you think of Carolina's all black fit that they're throwing out this year? Did you see that yet?
Yeah. It's not a bad look. It's definitely not a bad look.
I don't like the helmet.
I'm okay with it. I mean, yeah, it's okay.
Why do I feel like they're gonna call themselves? It's gonna be called their Black Panther fit, and they're gonna get sued by Marvel or something for
probably, yeah. Probably, actually, I like that one. Yeah,
I would go creamsicle, then go ATL, New Orleans, then Carolina probably.
Oh, you got Carolina last. All right, so I'm gonna go ATL second. The red one's hot. Absolutely. And then 3, I love the blues in Carolina. They were great ones.
Okay, you're going blues. All right. I like the white a little bit better, but
okay. Yeah, fair. The blues are 3 and then the Saints are 4. Nothing really too crazy.
The Saints they don't have really.
No, they haven't really changed. As far back as I can remember, when Aaron Brooks was wearing a goddamn jersey, it was still the same colors as Alvin Kamara now. So nothing really changed since at least I can remember.
Right now in my head with New Orleans are those gold color rushes that they wore those one year. It was like that.
Oh no!
And those were ugly. Those were mate, bro. I was like, this is disgusting right now. No, those color rush uniforms are absolutely disgusting when it comes to New Orleans Saints.
Absolutely.
They look like piss. I had an epiphany when we were talking about it. I was like, it looks like straight dehydrated piss.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. Some color rush jerseys I like better than others, but then some, at least 70% of them, I'm like, this is god awful. I agree.
I think that's why they've kind of like all the teams now have like started to like do those alternates instead of like trying to figure out the NFL color rush ones. But
Yeah. A lot of teams came out with the alternate jerseys this year. I
yeah,
know at least what 4, I think, that already came out with some. So
they're bringing back that Kelly Green Philly. That's gonna be looking nice.
they are. They do have a black Eagles helmet too. They just showed yesterday or 2 days ago, I think it was. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. And so why don't we jump back into where we were talking? We're talking Bucks. And if you guys are having an epiphany right now that I've gone from a blue shirt to a pink shirt. We had technical difficulties the other night trying to record this, and my entire Wi-Fi went down. My cell service went out. I get a phone call from Joe being like, everything's gone. And I was like, yeah, my entire the university just went on a complete shutdown here in Cheney, Washington. So it was a little beat. So he was so kind enough to be able to reschedule with me to pick
Just
right
a
back up.
just a quick break, like Tom Brady's retirement, just quick and easy, and we're right back at it.
Oh, what a transition into what we're going to talk about first, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, Tom Brady's very short-lived retirement. Gronk has retired for what, the 5th time now? Something about like that.
Oh
And then
yeah, he'll be back by week 8. Absolutely.
back by week 8. When he realizes that he misses football and Tom's like, yo, we're going to win it.
We're gonna need you back, even though they just
back.
signed Kyle Rudolph too. But
I like that signing. That was a sneaky good signing, Kyle Rudolph.
oh yeah, definitely fills a good role for them. I mean, they did lose OJ Howard, so it is Cameron Brate's time to shine now. But Kyle Rudolph going there definitely helps out with another piece at the tight end position.
Right. Total red zone, probably be very a red zone oriented player, especially because he doesn't have that ability. I don't think he's got the in between the hashes anymore, running those routes as a tight end, but he's going to
Yeah, I
be
mean,
a red zone target where he's at in his career now.
let's be honest. I mean, you got guys that at tight end positions that lose their speed over the years and still find ways to score, still find ways to get the ball in their hands. I mean, you saw Jason Witten for his last 5 years. The man couldn't move, but he still was getting you at least 3 to 5 catches a game. It almost seemed like at times. So if Kyle Rudolph can slide into that role, especially with Tom Brady at the realm, I don't really see a problem. He's going to find ways to catch the ball.
Absolutely. So let's jump into our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lost in the divisional round to the Los Angeles Rams, who went on to win the championship. And they dug themselves a pretty big hole, and then the collapse almost led to the Bucks making a miraculous comeback in that second half. And then the Cooper Kupp catch that was probably one of the worst blown coverages I've ever thought of Todd Bowles' defenses ever. He is now
Oh
the
yeah.
head coach, which is a little
Yep.
bit ironic there. We thought it was going to be Byron Leftwich if Arians stepped down. A bit of a transition. I've got a feeling that this is all Tom Brady's doing behind the scenes, probably. But we have Joe's got as we were talking earlier, he's wearing 4 different uniforms for all 4 teams. He's got a Mike Williams jersey on, and we're not talking like Chargers Mike Williams. We're talking about Mike Williams from like a decade ago who had one good year. Joe, you got to tell them we were talking about how you got this uniform. How'd you get this uniform?
So, big bucket list goal of mine is get to every NFL stadium. So we were actually on the way to the Bucks Stadium, and I like trying to represent the team that's playing, or like a team that's playing there. Maybe opposing or the home team, and I didn't have anything. So we find a guy on the side of the road selling these jerseys, man. And meanwhile, I'm only probably like 14, 13, soaking wet, 130 pounds. And he only has an extra, extra large. And he was selling it for like $20. And I'm like, I mean, it's $20, so yeah, I'll take it. But I mean, I'm swimming in it. It's down to my ankles while I'm sitting at this game. It was actually cold to that game we went to, which is surprising being in Tampa Bay. But yeah, I ended up buying it and wore it in, and hey, just kept it ever since.
Just turned into a blanket at that game for you.
Oh yeah, and they actually played. It was the Seattle Seahawks they played. It was like week 17 game. Nothing really too about it, but you want to know who had a huge game that day? LeGarrette, I smoke a blunt. That man, I don't know if you guys remember this play, but a lot of people remember him for like one or two plays. And the one was where he hurdled a guy and then ran it like
Yeah.
60 yards for a touchdown. That was the game I was at. He hurdled him like full on boom right over him and then just jetted for him. And that was it.
LeGarrette Blunt, all he's remembered for, punching Boise State in college, having that hurdle play, and then
Yeah.
scoring red zone touchdowns for the New England Patriots. This is all
Oh yeah.
to do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, that was it. That was the game I was at, and that's how this jersey came out to be. So
We love it. We love it. All right. Give me an expectations. What are you looking for in Tampa Bay? What are the goals for this season? I think the NFC South is kind of almost locked up for them. We don't know what New Orleans is going to be. I think it's just going to be between them and the Saints this year. But what do you expect from Tampa Bay?
well, I don't want to throw this statement around too much based off the last episode, but it's win now or bust for them.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's
Justin Marvel and Marcus are watching right now, and they're like, "Oh, here we go."
it's win now or bust for them. I mean, if you have Tom Brady at quarterback, it is always win now mode, because you never know when he's going to retire. You never know when he's going to give out. But I mean, I think the NFC South is a certified lock for them. I would be shocked if any one of them other teams actually come out on top. I really would be shocked. Um, and granted, I really think the NFC is kind of easier than the AFC this year. There's maybe only 3 to 4 teams right off the top, before the season even starts, that probably have a really good chance of making the Super Bowl. Where like the AFC is completely, like, you have probably 8 to 10 teams that you can name that could end up in the Super Bowl. And in the NFC, it's definitely Tampa Bay as one of them up there, maybe even top 2, right there with the Rams. They didn't really lose too much this year. I mean, they're down and out Godwin for what, probably six to 8 weeks. They also lost their guard to Cincinnati, so they're gonna have to replace that spot as well. But you still get Wirfs back, you still get Jensen back. They signed Russell Gage, which is a great signing. I mean, he came from the Falcons, so I'm very familiar with him, and he's actually like really good catch and really good route runner, so that he'll definitely fit well right in with them there. And yeah, Mike Evans is gonna have another good year. I mean, I don't know if you like look at Mike Evans' stats, but he's consistently 8, 9 straight years of 1,000 yards. He gets at least like probably anywhere from 5 to 12 touchdowns a year. Like, he's on track for a Hall of Fame career, and like no one even talks about it.
And he misses like 4 or 5 games a year of injury too. So you can almost, like, he's putting up those numbers and he's playing so many less games in comparison to most of the other guys he's competing against at the wide receiver position.
Absolutely. And the thing is this, like, when people talk about like top wide receivers, like, all right, you always have like Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill now, Stephon Diggs and stuff, but like no one ever talks about Mike Evans. But like when you look at stats wise, like Mike Evans should be like top 5, top 7, but like no one ever talks about that.
Yeah, because they feel like when he was beginning of his career, he didn't have a quarterback. So they kind of just were like, the Bucks are irrelevant. Let's just push Mike. He's just a stats receiver, right? And
Hmm.
then now they're saying, oh, it's just Tom Brady behind the wheel while he's having success. No, he's played for like probably 6 or 7 different QBs already in his career, and he's still putting up those numbers consistently year in, year out. He's definitely one of the most underrated receivers and underappreciated receivers in the NFL, without question.
I agree. He's in the kind of same spotlight as like Keenan Allen for me. Like, Keenan Allen is a dog and he can go play. And I mean, look at the quarterbacks he kind of had. I mean, Rivers was pretty good and so was Herbert. I don't know why I just made that statement, but he's in that same realm for me. Like, he's very underappreciated, but his stats still come out, year in and year out.
Absolutely. I think the biggest question mark for Tampa Bay now is how do they add some of that depth, right? I think that was the huge issue for them last year. They brought everybody back, but everybody seemed to get hurt at some point or another on that team.
Oh
On
yeah.
the offensive side of the ball, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That defense weren't even fully healthy until that first playoff game against Philly in the wild card round. that was the first time you'd seen all of them actually play together. And I feel like that was too little, too late at that point, which is what hindered their ability. And Sue's not coming back. They're trying to figure out Whitehead's contract still, if they're going to renew that or extend. So I think that's one of the bigger question marks is how Bruce Arian now in a front office position is going to be able to figure out the depth, especially defensively, because I feel like their secondary sometimes gets masked because of how dominant Levante David and Devin White are at the linebacker position.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
gotta figure out some depth in the secondary. But I agree. I think they're arguably right behind the Rams as those. They're probably one of the 4 more complete teams in football. Right? You're thinking LA. You're thinking Tampa. I would probably put Buffalo in that conversation as the other team. And then you could make an argument for the 4th if it's between Kansas City, if you want to make an argument again for trying to think who else is top contender.
Well, I mean, you're talking like AFC versus NFC, or like, and you're talking complete teams. I do understand that, but in the end, you know,
In the
Tampa Bay's
NFC,
going to have to
they're
go.
just they're
Tampa Bay's going to
neck and
have to go
neck
through
with
the
LA.
NFC side.
Right.
So, with that being said, like you got to think about the 3-4 teams over there on the NFC side. You know, for me, like you said, you got Tampa Bay and out west. I mean, I'm a big Niners guy. I think the Niners are a really good team this year, so I think they're up there for me. Same thing with the Rams. The North, I mean, Packers losing Devontae is really huge, so I don't know if it's there, but their defense also got ramped up a little bit more, so they could be there. I don't know. Minnesota hasn't proven anything to me yet, so I can't really say that. In the
Minnesota is
East,
all you go. Minnesota only wins games if they can outscore people. That's how
yeah,
bad.
that or if they don't play primetime games, so you can rock with that too. But the East, the other thing with the East is like, what do you take out of Jalen Hurts, and can Dak actually, finish a game, and maybe they call a timeout and could actually beat a team or something like that? I don't know. Like so like for me, there's probably only 3, maybe 4 teams if you really want to talk about all things considered. But you got to still put Tampa Bay there. They got a team. They can
Absolutely.
play. I think losing Sue though is going to be a hit on their defensive line though. I mean Vita Vea's good. I don't even think they didn't bring back JPP, correct too, right?
Well, I don't remember if I can't remember a correct. I don't. They might have let him walk too. Their D line is. Let me
I mean,
look.
they're gonna have like Akeem Hicks there too, so they're gonna be able to stop the run very well. But it's like, all right, what now? What are you gonna do on the pressure side of things?
JPP is
So
a free agent at the moment.
yeah, so we'll see how all that works out. But they're gonna have to beat teams by scoring more points essentially than them. That's what they're gonna have to do. I mean, they have the weapons to do it. Playoff Lenny's been looking incredible. I mean, he's weighing like 280 right now. He probably could throw him at the offensive line position if they need him. But I, I, it is what it is, and they're going to figure it out. They might come out of the gate struggling. The first couple weeks they got to go up against Dallas away, going to be tough to start. Then you're at the Saints, which the Saints always give them problems to start.
Saints are the worst matchup in the NFL for them.
Correct.
For some
Yeah.
reason.
And then they're home against the Packers and they're home against the Chiefs. So like
They could
they could be
two
sitting
and
1-3
two.
to start.
Yeah, they could be 1-3. 2-2. If they're pushing 2-2, they're solid. But they could easily. You could even argue potentially. I think Dallas would be the only game that they'd be favored in out of those 4 potentially.
Yeah. So there's a good shot that they start out slow, and they most of the time they do start out pretty slow. And people are gonna be freaking out and be like, "Oh my God, Tom Brady, maybe he's done. Finally, Father Time has caught up to him. Oh, this team's done." Blah, da, 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 da. Then that's when you go on FanDuel and you start placing your bets that they're gonna make the Super Bowl, because that's when you need to start cashing in. Bang, bang, bang. That's how you win your money.
Without question. So
If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh man.
I gotta get to the casino now. I gotta go put some money down. I gotta get over to Airway Heights because in
I'm
Washington,
telling you.
the only way you can bet is at the actual casino. You can't actually no online betting or anything like that. Gotta go into the casino directly.
Respect that.
Respect it, but it means I gotta take a trek. So
That's all right. You gotta do what you gotta do. So
do what you gotta do. All right. So I think we're both on the same page here that I personally think that they'll probably be in the NFC Championship. I think you're probably somewhere around there, at least the divisional round, if they don't make it to the Super Bowl. So let's jump to probably the only team that's going to go against them while Joe makes his wardrobe change.
Oh yeah, hold on.
And I will get us started with the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston is back, and it's going to be interesting to see. They were 5-2 when Winston was playing. Where are we going to see from him? And New Orleans fell off the map because they couldn't get a quarterback. They played Trevor Siemian, Ian Book, Taysom Hill. They were trying basically anything at the quarterback position. They did make some key acquisitions, bringing in Jarvis Landry, who I think is a sleeper pick. Michael Thomas will be back. So it's going to be intriguing to see. Oh, we got 80 here. Is this I'm trying to think. Who's 80? Is it Jimmy Graham?
One of the
Jimmy
best
Graham.
tight ends we've ever seen, baby. One of the best tight ends we've ever seen.
Jimmy Graham. I like
Jimmy
it.
Graham.
I like that one. All right.
Oh yeah.
Behind the New Orleans Saints jersey, as I just rambled on how the Saints got some decent acquisitions with Matthew and stuff like that.
Jimmy Graham won me a few championships in the fantasy football realm, so I can only do respect by getting his jersey.
Did you at least buy it with your fantasy winnings, or did you use that beforehand?
Nah, I invested in crypto first, and then I ended up getting it. So.
Oh my
goodness. Oh man, the Saints, man. I'm excited for them this year. I think they. I actually personally, I have them in the playoff spot right now. I have them somewhere at the 6th or 7th seed, sitting in the wild card. Jameis coming back, even though I know a lot of people don't like Jameis. I completely understand that.
Mr. 30 for 30.
Hey, one of the best out there. But he got LASIK. He's feeling good. The knee's gonna be great. So they also went 5-2 when he was starter. And
yeah, because he didn't throw the ball over 3 yards downfield.
Hey, when you got wide receivers like Marquise Callaway, I wouldn't throw more than 3 yards either. So
will Alvin Kamara be playing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're going to see what it comes out to be there. I mean, from what it's saying, apparently this case is supposed to be pushed till October, maybe November. So he might be playing initially to start.
Right.
But we'll see what works out. But all things considered, let's say they all play, right? Kamara actually plays. Michael Thomas I know he's starting out on the pup. He probably should be back. Drafted Chris Olave, good wide receiver out of Ohio State, probably the most ready wide receiver coming out to be ready in the NFL. And then they also drafted Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa to replace the left tackle spot where they lost Armstead. So that's a really good pick. I like Penning coming out, big body guy. I just like this team, man. Like they got weapons. Jameis is gonna sling the rock a little bit. Especially Kamara plays for me. Kamara's, top 3 running back in the league when he's healthy and on the field. I like this team, man. And their defense, man. Their defense is there. Cameron Jordan is a baller. Tyrann Matthews is there now.
Right.
They got some players, man. I like them. I like them a lot this year.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to like, right? Because in those 7 games, he was 14 TDs, only 3 INTs. And the biggest question mark with Jameis was just limit the turnovers, bro. You limit the turnovers, and you were one of the top quarterbacks statistically in the NFL. But because he was so inept of keeping the ball on his side of the field, it led to that why the whole Tampa Bay thing ended up unfolding. And I think playing behind Drew that one year as the backup really helped him because he understood, hey, I mean, Drew Brees was on his way out, and he was only throwing the ball roughly 5 yards downfield, and he was still putting up 350 yards, 3 TDs consistently, right? Because
Drew also had to arc the ball over the offensive lineman where Jameis can actually get the ball over him.
Right.
So there's that issue too.
More windows there that you can throw, more throwing lanes.
100%.
So I think it will be intriguing because the Saints defense is still going to be top 10 easy, arguably top 5. They're always in the top 10, teetering top 5.
Oh yeah.
Defensively, statistically, because Marshawn Lattimore is an absolute flipping stud. Cam Jordan is an absolute monster on the front. So they have a dude at all 3 layers. of the defense when it
Oh, I
comes.
didn't even realize they got Marcus May too from the Jets.
Yeah, they did.
Another good pick too.
Sneaky pickup.
Yeah, and Lattimore's a top cornerback too.
Right. I think my biggest question mark will be Dennis Allen.
Oh, 100%.
How will he develop now with Sean Payton going out? He had that opportunity in Oakland, and that went up in flames. He was hired as the youngest head coach in history at that time, and you could see that he was not equipped for the moment. Has now been a DC for a while under Payton, has seen the nuances of coaching a little bit more. Where can he make in-game adjustments will be the biggest thing that I want to see, because I know his defense will be ready to go. My question mark will be him in game situations.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest question mark for the Saints, to be honest with you. I think team-wise, constructive-wise, it's in really good shape. Like you got weapons for days. Your offensive line is decent enough. You got Jameis at QB. Do I think Jameis is a Super Bowl QB? Absolutely not. But do I think they can still make the playoffs? Yeah, I agree. And with the defensive side, I think so. I think they can do it. So
the defense will be there. I think this was the same thing I had with Minnesota. Like these are like cuss teams, right? Where anything can go either way. You can slot them in around that wild card, like anywhere from 6 to probably 9. And a win, just one win here or there, is going to dictate whether they're in or they're out. Like they're all around, going to be around, I think. I know we're going to do records towards the end, but around that 9, 10, 8 win range, 8 to 10 wins. And
oh yeah.
Lock that up with.
Oh yeah,
easily.
absolutely. And I'm gonna be honest. Looking here, we're gonna revert back with Tampa versus Saints here. Saints could start out 4-1 right off the bat. I mean, that's why I'm saying you got to run to whatever your local casino is, your thing, and start hammering Tampa Bay when they're down 1-3. They got the Falcons week 1. They got Tampa week 2. They got Carolina week 3, Vikings week 4, and Seattle week 5. They're not hard games.
Easily should be 3-2 without question. Easily. Should beat Atlanta, should beat Carolina, should beat Seattle.
And their tough games are at home.
Which helps.
Always helps.
The dome is always rocking.
Absolutely. So your Bucks game is home to start, and your Vikings game is home to start. So it's really good shape.
That's the team that you're really going to be competing against is Minnesota, and it's nice to have that game at home.
Absolutely. And I just think it's good for them. And that's why I say they're going to come out the gate hot. And that's what they kind of did last year, too, when Jameis was at Realm. They were 5-2 to start. They shit the bed at the end because you had Taysom Hill at quarterback. You had Trevor Siemian.
And you had Ian Book even play a game.
Yeah, Ian Book. I mean, whoever the hell that guy is, I don't know. From Notre Dame. That place stinks.
You leave my Golden Domer alone, all right?
That place stinks. But, nah, I like them, man. I like the Saints a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Yo, your favorite Saints player right off the top of your head. All time.
Favorite Saints player of all time?
All time, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. What's the first name that I would probably... Honestly, I would... Just that Gleason play at the Dome has always been something that... Like, hometown dude. He had...
Wait, who?
Gleason, that special teams guy. Remember when the Dome got...
Oh, yeah!
I don't remember his names. It's like Steve Gleason, something ridiculous. All right, favorite. I would have to. I am a huge fan of Michael Thomas.
Slant Boy. You're a fan of Slant Boy,
bro? Guy won me a title in fantasy football. Gotta just pay my respects.
I'm gonna go out on a little. I'm gonna go on a little limb here because there's a lot of players that I actually did like from the Saints, like Deuce McAllister, Reggie, Aaron Brooks, and all that, Marquise Colston. But speaking about that team, Devery Henderson was a killer for us. He killed the Falcons.
Speedster.
Oh, my God, dude. Every game, they would be like down like 10 or something like that. And you're like, all right, hey, the Falcons are going to lock this one up. Bang, 75-yard touchdown. And you're like, all right.
Every time.
There he is.
He always had like every other game, right? He would have one of those like just one. He would have like 3 catches. It was like 130 yards because he got 75 of it.
Oh, he's a beast. He's a beast. Well, since we're doing this, we got to go back real quick to Tampa Bay. Who was your favorite Tampa Bay of all time?
Oh, wow. Oh, man. I don't want to. I'm trying to think of more of a throwback player. I don't want to go like somebody right now because, I mean, I love me some Devin White. I do
All
love
right.
Devin White, but I'm trying to think who's on those couple of those teams. Oh, I love me some Rondé Barber though too,
Fair enough.
or Devin
Great.
and Devin Brooks. Is it Devin
Yeah, yeah.
Brooks?
Derek
Derek
Brooks.
Brooks. See,
Derek Brooks.
I'm not a true fan
That's
of.
when they went to the Super Bowl that year. They had John
Oh,
Lynch at safety too. And
John Lynch.
dude, the big,
That was a defense that was a force to be reckoned with.
and then Hall of Famer Warren Sapp at defensive tackle.
Oh God, that team was just stacked. Who you
But
got?
I'm gonna give you another one. You're gonna love this right here. Big fan of him. Fullback position, Mike Allstott.
Oh, I knew you were gonna. I thought you were gonna go all Scott. You love those brutes in the backfield.
Dude, beast. Loved Mike Allstott. That was the only fullback you took in fantasy football because you know he's
Ever.
gonna get you points.
You
Yeah.
know, and you know you're gonna get about like 6 carries, a tutty. Brad
I always forget too. You remember the quarterback that was at the Super Bowl that led them to the Super Bowl that year?
Johnson.
Brad Johnson, baby. Brad Johnson. He
Been
was on
trying,
a lot of teams, man. He was like the
trying
Fitzpatrick.
to get Brad Johnson on the pod because of some of the other guys that I know who's been on their podcasts.
Legend. Brad Johnson's a
Brad,
legend.
if you're listening, please come on the final whistle. I'm begging you. Been trying for months. But all right. So I think the Saints, we got Saints at the teetering. I would put them behind Tampa Bay if we were really talking about it. I think that's a fair assessment, what we both have there. But, let's do another wardrobe change. And probably the one team that probably has no idea who they're playing at quarterback. And that is the Carolina Panthers. And in recent news in the last couple weeks, they traded for Baker Mayfield. And all this shows is that how good is Lamar Jackson? Because he is the only true quarterback in that class that everyone understands. I think Josh Allen was part of that class too. You got those two guys, and then the guys that went before him, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, trying to get paid on their 5th-year option, and now both of them are end up trying to figure out what's going on. And the Carolina jersey is on. He's rocking Steve Smith Sr.
I don't think he has a senior on this one. This is a little old school one.
Oh no, you're before the senior gets into play on that unit.
Oh yeah. Steve Smith, baby. You know who it is.
You gotta love the black though. I think that's probably the favorite one I like out of their units.
Tough one. Tough here.
With Jakey Delhomme, vintage Carolina.
Absolutely. Big fan. Actually, the reason why I got this one, Steve Smith, during his time there, one of my favorite wide receivers to watch, growing up, at least to start. Dude was a dog. He was a beast. It was like if you needed that 10-yard catch, he was there. If you needed an 80-yard catch, bomb touchdown, he was there. He was like 7-11. He was open 24/7. So
love that comparison.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But when it comes to the Panthers, we really don't know what we're going to get now because you have 2 quarterbacks from the same draft now going to be competing for one another in their 5th-year option, thinking that they were going to be franchise guys, now struggling to make ends meet as they're trying to beat each other out for the Carolina Panthers. And I know I was kind of mentioning this as you were making your wardrobe change, that how good does Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson look in this class? Because these 2 bums that went ahead of them are now bona fide scrubs trying to figure out if they know how to throw a football.
Look, unfortunately, I'm going to have to die on the hill of Sam Darnold because I thought Sam Darnold was going to be the best quarterback out of this draft class. So I will die on that hill eventually. I don't think Baker's washed, though, yet, personally. I don't think that. I think Baker's still got a lot of juice.
Done, though. You think Darnold's done? Or you think
I think Darnold might be shot, man. I don't even think he wins his quarterback competition versus Baker. I think Baker wins it. I think Baker becomes the starter. But I still think Baker's got a lot of juice left in him. I mean, people forget that they made it to what? The AFC Divisional round or AFC Championship game versus Kansas City, and they lost.
Divisional round because Chad Henne threw the ball on 4th and inches.
That's right. So, people forget about that, and I understand that Cleveland offense is mainly focused is giving the ball to Nick Chubb. Completely agree. But like you still got to give credit to Baker when Baker's due because he did make some big time throws. Last year, I personally still think he was injured. He did have like what a torn labrum or something like that.
Yeah, he played
Um,
hurt all year.
yeah, so coming back healthy, now with the Panthers, who have a pretty decent team, man. Like, if you look at their team on paper, it's not bad. It's not as bad as people think.
They can't stay on the field, Joe. The team cannot stay on the field. You might as well lock in Christian McCaffrey for about 10 games because that's the best you could get. Then you
Dude, I'm
have,
gonna tell you, I'm gonna make some bold predictions with the Carolina Panthers. You
oh,
ready for this?
Lord, here we go.
Bold prediction. CMC stays healthy all year, returns back to the MVP status he is. DJ Moore has like a maybe 1,300, 1,400 yard season under Baker Mayfield. I'm convinced of that. I think this defense could actually become a top 10 unit in the league because the cornerbacks that they have, I don't know if you know the cornerbacks they have, but they are loaded at cornerback.
They do. They do have some solid guys.
They also have a decent O-line with Derek Brown from Auburn. I think it's his second year now or third year now coming up.
That around there.
They also got Gross Motto from PSU, good pass rusher, definitely can get to the ball. Shaq Thompson's still there. I like this team, man. I don't think they make playoffs, but I like this team a lot. They're going to be in a lot of games and they're going to cover a lot of bets.
You know what? I'm going to go the exact opposite on my hot take. I think Matt Corral's going to be starting a quarterback at some point.
Wow. Matt Corral. Holy
Yo,
crap.
I love me some Matt Corral though. Dude's a gamer. I think he's got that Baker in him, like that college Baker though, like just total.
He got a little fire.
Talks a lot of trash. I loved him under Lane Kiffin. I mean, his injury in the Sugar Bowl was devastating because I feel like they would have smacked Baylor in that game. Smacked them if he was able to play. But I just love his game. He's a true gamer. I think he's got what Matt Rule really needs, and that is some just like potential at the quarterback position. Because, like you said, I think Darnold's done. I never believed in Darnold to begin with, though, because as he is from USC, I will never appreciate the USC Trojans ever. That's just the personal Notre Dame bias coming out. And then Mayfield, I know I get ripped a new one on some of my Stephen A. Smith like type of deals. The man's in more commercials than he is wins, baby. Come on. He
That's
loves
like Ricky Fowler.
Come on. He loves his progressive. Like, bro, figure out how to throw the football down the field a little bit. Then you can start doing some. I mean, did have a good year when they went to the AFC divisional round, but he did play hurt last year, but that's on him. Like, Stefanski asked him if he could go. He said he could go, and he hurt the team more playing hurt than he did if he let the keys go to Case Keenum. I personally believe, because I know Case Keenum's he's not a starter in this league anymore. He had that one great year in Minnesota, the fluke year. That's what I call it. But he was better than what Baker was injured. And I think he would have played the game plan. He knew Stefanski's offense in and out because of his fluke year of success that led to his paydays, which I take your money, Case. I don't blame you one bit. But he was hurting Cleveland last year. I think it's going to be really interesting to see. I know DJ Moore, I think he's gotten tired of how many quarterbacks he's had to play with the last couple of years. And I think hopefully they do not bring Cam back, because I think that'll be even more of a disaster if they don't.
Bro, they got enough quarterbacks on this roster. They're not bringing Cam back. I promise you that.
But they only brought him back because they needed people in the seats.
Yeah. And I like what they did in the draft, drafting Ikwamu, out NC State, which is a really good pick for them.
Very good offensive lineman.
Yeah, so which they definitely need to help with. But I mean, if you look at the weapons, honestly, though, like they're probably a top 10, top 12, like just weapon unit wise with CMC, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Terrence Marshall. People forget about too when he came out of LSU. Um,
Because
they got some weapons.
no one saw him on the field. That was the issue with Terrence
No,
Marshall.
I know. Yeah, I know. But I like this team. But the main thing comes down to this. How much is this team going to support Matt Rule? Because this man is on the hot seat right now.
Oh, yo, I'm trying to think of their schedule. Do you have their schedule up in front of you right
I
now?
do. I do. That's always my next thing. It's my last thing I bring
Read
up.
their
Yeah.
schedule because he might be gone by week 7.
I don't think so. So they start out with the Browns first to begin the season.
Oh,
And
yo, Baker's got to be starting week 1 now.
yeah, absolutely. I actually think Carolina could beat them. Maybe. Just maybe.
Dependent upon if Deshaun's at quarterback.
Agreed. Yes. Then they play the Giants.
All right, so that's a win. I'll give them. So let's just say 1-1 there, hypothetically. All right,
Saints at home they are.
that's it. That's an L. That's
Okay. And then Arizona at home.
that's an L.
And then it gets really bad after that.
And then
They got the Niners, the
L.
Rams, and the
L.
Bucks after that.
yeah, he's fired after week 8. 1-6, he's done. 1-0, and he loses 6 straight.
Unfortunately, the NFC South has a really tough year this year. They play the NFC West, who is one of the strongest divisions in NFL, and then they also play the NFC North. So
Oh, it's a wrap.
yeah, we got the NFC South definitely got a shitty end of the stick here.
Which is
But
great though. Which my Matt Corral take is not that far off. That he might be playing quarterback some point this year if they're going to be 1-6 at the halfway through the year.
yeah, that's why I like this team on paper. They look like a good team. That's why I don't think they make the playoffs, and they probably don't get the wins that they should get, but they will cover a lot of games. Vegas will not know
They'll
what to
be
do with them.
competitive. I can see that. They could be competitive.
Correct. Yes, but I'm gonna die on his hill this year that I think CMC returns back to his MVP status. That is my big take this
Wow.
year.
That is
I
a
think
big take.
I think he
I said
plays.
that last year and he made me look like a dumbass. So
I think I think he gets through the injury, through the injury bug this year. He comes back healthy, ready to go. You add it to the offensive line now. You now have Baker, who is a somewhat reliable quarterback.
right.
And Baker's perfectly okay dumping the ball off. We were shown that when he played with Cleveland with Kareem Hunt. So I think that works out perfect for him, and I think he's going to return back to the MVP status.
Okay. So we're both on differing ends. I think Carolina will be a 4 or 5 win team. That's where I have them. You have them probably a little bit, couple wins more than
I
that.
got him about 6, maybe 7 if lucky.
It's all going to be dependent on that first couple of games stretch, I think.
Yeah, like if they can somehow squeak out like a 2-2 or 3-1, say, then you're going into your hard stretch of games with like, all right, I might be able to get 1 out
Right.
of the next 3 or 4. Because then after that, you got the Falcons twice, which could go either way. But then you got like the Bengals, the Ravens, the Broncos, like tough games. So, we'll see. Like they're gonna be like a nice team to watch. I personally think. I don't think they're gonna be a dud like last year.
Okay. I think that's a fair assessment, but I'm telling you, watch out for Marvel suing them. I know we were talking about this before we started the show because we were both just joking because we saw, if you guys haven't seen their new uniforms, they are pretty clean. Looks like it's going to be an all black fit. And I was just making the joke that they're going to get sued by Marvel because they're going to be calling them the Black Panther uniforms.
I love it. Love it. Well, before we still finish off with the Panthers, favorite Panther of all time.
Oh, it's the guy you got on that jersey, baby.
All right. Besides Steve Smith, because he's number 1 for me too. But I'll find another one out for you.
Oh, love me some Luke Kuechly, bro.
Big fan.
Kuechly.
Big fan.
I would go Luke Kuechly
Big
after
fan.
Steve Smith.
All right, fair enough.
Who you got?
Definitely honorable mention first, D'Angelo Williams, because the man was a beast. Love D'Angelo
Oh,
Williams.
he was a sleeper at the running back position.
Absolutely. Dude was a monster. But love this guy because there's only really one story for me, and it's Mushin Muhammad.
Oh, good Lord.
Mushin Muhammad, and here's the story here, right? So it's one of my very first fantasy football drafts, right? And it's me and my dad. We're working together because obviously my dad does not know technology at all. So I have to do the computer side of it, but he was throwing up the money and he was going to help me draft a couple players. So we get to like the 8th or ninth round of this draft, right? And I'm like, yo, we need a wide receiver. So I start going through names and blah, 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 blah. Didn't even say anything about Musha Muhammad. My dad goes, I got the pick, son. I go, all right, let's make the pick. He sits back and goes, Mushin Mohammed. And I go, who the hell's that guy? He goes, Carolina Panthers. I go, all right. And I shit you not, Musha Muhammad had a hell of a year that year. He went for like 900 yards, had a decent year for them, like a good quality wide receiver 2, maybe flex spot number 3. So I got to give credit to Pops there with the Musha Muhammad pick.
And he really got slept on in his career because of how much Steve Smith just took the limelight for the Carolina Panthers. But he was a solid flex option at the wide receiver position.
Oh yeah, he was good to the Panthers, and then he moved on to the Bears, and he did well there too.
Yeah, he did. He did have a solid couple of years in Chicago too.
Absolutely.
I like that little story. Good.
I got stories all over, man.
Papa Chicoletti, that a boy.
Shout out to him. Still uses the flip phone.
He does?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Still uses the flip phone.
My goodness. Do you remember like those jokes when I used to come over to your place like for the breaks and like I would do like your Boz's impression of like Mr. Chick? You remember those?
I do. Those are funny, man.
I just remember like saying like, "Yo, Mr. Chick, what we doing tonight?"
Good times, man. Good times there. I'll tell you that.
Oh, but all right, let's do your final wardrobe change. This one's gonna hurt the most for you because it is your diehard ATL Atlanta Falcons, and this one is gonna hurt Joe, I think, emotionally, and he might need to go to therapy after this one with how bad his Falcons could potentially be. No more Matty Ice. They got rid of Julio Jones last year. They are completely throwing in the towel and making this a complete rebuild in Atlanta. They are probably the clear team to finish last in the NFC South. But you do have some explosive weapons. Kyle Pitts, Cordell Patterson. I love the Drake London pick, even though I will never support USC. Probably arguably the best route runner in this class at the wide receiver position. Also went with a quarterback to go behind Marcus Mariota and taking Desmond Ridder. I think he will get a couple of packages or maybe even start towards the end of the year after they figure out that Mariota will not be the answer. So it's going to be really interesting. They got to be able to do a full rebuild in Atlanta. I know this hits home. Arthur Smith, the head coach, he's not on the hot seat, but it could be in shambles. And I already know who that is. That is the GOAT of Atlanta, Michael Vick, on right there. A little throwback jersey in the all black fit. All right,
Mike Vick, baby.
When did we get the Mike Vick jersey? Early on, or is this a little later on now?
Bro, this might be my 3rd Mike Vick jersey. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You got 3 of them?
Yeah, I got like 3 of them. I think I couldn't. The other 2, I'm not sure. They're in somewhere in the closet, but this is the one. I got this one signed too, so I gotta only bring it out every once in a while. So
signed by Mikey Vick himself.
Yeah, Mike Vick himself. You know what I mean?
How much did that cost you out of the bank?
I'm not sure. I got it as a present, Christmas present. So it was a pretty good deal for me. So.
Oh, so it was guap. If it came out, it was a Christmas present.
Absolutely. Nah, yeah, big Mike Vick fan. That's how it started. That's how it all started for me to become an Atlanta Falcons fan. I was a little youngster, just a little young guy. Didn't even have any chest hair yet, and I liked the NFL.
Still don't. Let's be honest.
And I was a little guy and was like, I like football, but I don't know if I like the Eagles. Wasn't a big fan of them. And then I saw Michael Vick. And if I had said there's one play and one play only, look back, early 2000s, they go up against the Minnesota Vikings. It's overtime.
That is the play.
That is the play for me. If I had to say there is a play, watching it live, him making 2 people hit each other and scoring the game-winning touchdown and literally walking off the field. That's it for me. Mike Vick, baby.
Oh my God! In his heyday, he was electric.
Oh, electric. But I will say this: I am a huge Mike Vick fan. He was great to watch, but he is not the best franchise quarterback in in Atlanta Falcon history.
Are you giving that to Matty Ice?
I am giving that to Matt Ryan. Yes.
Wow. Look at that. That's saying something if you're going with Matty Ice over Michael Vick. Because
I have to do it. If you look at stats wise, man, and what he has done for the team, the city, and his playoff success, you got to give it to Matt Ryan. Unfortunately, like Vic really, besides like him selling tickets, and being electric, he wasn't really that good, with the Falcons.
especially when he was a thrower of the football, just hovering around 50%.
Yeah. Like if you look at the records, like I think honestly the most wins he ever had in a season was maybe 9, maybe 10. Where Ryan,
Didn't that make the championship game one year though with him?
they did. They were a wild card team though.
Yeah.
So, but like Matt Ryan, I mean, obviously took him to a Super Bowl, made it to a few NFC divisional games, a couple, championship games too. They just never could get over the hump with the team. But like you want to talk about getting to the playoffs, Matt Ryan did it pretty frequently, and he has way too many yards over Mike Vick. So
And I know the Super Bowl is a touchy subject, so we'll save that for another day for you. But all right, Joe, give me some realistic. Be realistic here. Don't be a fan. I know this is going to be a hard year. Be a realistic fan right now. How is this going to go unfold for your ATL?
well, the offensive line's still gonna suck. Thank God we have Marcus Mariota, a guy who can run. So
Good
that's
thing
always
you
a good thing.
drafted Desmond Ritter, another guy who can run.
Yeah, like this is a definitely beneficial thing that we got a running quarterback because they're gonna have to do a lot of bootlegs to get Mariota outside of it. I know a lot of people weren't huge on the London pick, but also a lot of people love the London pick out of
I liked it.
Atlanta.
I liked it a lot. Best
I, I
runner in this class.
I think it fits well for what the Falcons want right now. And plus, he's not the number one target. You still have the freak Kyle Pitts down there. So he's not the number one target, but he's definitely going to get his touches. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets 1,000 yards this year because, like, who else is Mariota going to throw to besides Pitts? Like, it's not really much out there. I mean, we got Brian Edwards from the Raiders we picked up and Auden Tate from the Bengals, but like those are pretty much Joe Schmo guys. So yeah, I mean, I think Edwards might have a decent year. Like I could see him getting like 700
Edwards was
yards.
okay in the slot for Vegas.
Yeah. So we'll be all right there. I mean, I don't see Patterson doing what he did last year at all. Like
He
that,
was a freak of nature last year.
yeah, like that was like way out the blue and did not expect that at all. Like he'll probably still do decent, but nowhere near what he did last year. I like the kid out of BYU that we drafted. I think his name's like Alliger or Tyler Alliger or something. I might be pronouncing his last name.
Guy or something like that.
Yeah, BYU hard runner. Really like that too as well. Defense wise, we're gonna suck there too.
You guys filled no holes on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Like you still have AJ Terrell, who's honestly becoming one of the top cornerbacks in the league, which people are like never really noticed about it, but he's actually really good cornerback. We still have Deion Jones, who's okay, but they're gonna try to move on from him soon. And Grady Jarrett's like a beast, but that's all we have. But with all that being said, we're going 16-0, and we're gonna win the Super Bowl. So
stupid 17 games.
But no, in all seriousness, I'm still so in between what this team's going to do because this is what happens every year with the Falcons. When there's expectations placed on us, we hit the mark so low on these expectations year in and year out. But when there's no expectations and we're supposed to be a bottom feeding team or a terrible team to say the least, we somehow win games. Last year was that for us, right? We were supposed to be a team that like you're lucky would have like 2 wins. Well, we ended up with 4 or 5 and we're in a couple games. I really don't know if we're going to have 2 wins or if we're going to have 7 wins this year. I don't know. I'm so in the middle right now because I don't know what to expect from this team.
You're going to be in the top 3 of the draft.
That's where I mean, I want to be. I want to be top 3.
You guys won't be the worst team in football because I already made my pick last week, and that's gonna be the Bears. It's gonna be the worst team in football. You guys will be competing, however, with them to be the worst team in football, arguably.
But I don't know if we're gonna be that bad though, because like when you look at the Bears, if you look at the Bears like roster, right, they're god awful. Like I agree.
They have absolutely nobody.
They're terrible. I agree with you. But when you look at the Falcons roster, you're like, okay, they're bad.
They got glimpses though of hope.
Yeah, but they're not that bad though.
Right.
Like for me, it's kind of like your opinion here. Would you take the Falcons right now or the Lions?
Detroit.
Why?
Because of the pieces and the team camaraderie that they have. And every game last year, they could have easily had 4 or 5 more wins if they could just learn how to handle the fourth quarter.
See, I disagree. Like, I think the Falcons are better than the Lions right now.
I don't know, man. I think Detroit's going to surprise some people this year. They also have a joke of a schedule.
The Lions are talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to like look at schedule wise right this second. It's more like looking at team.
I would give Detroit a slight edge over Atlanta.
Okay, that's fair. Like I think the Falcons are better than the Lions personally. Like if you went up mano a mano, like I think the Lions would probably lose that game. I'm also not a big fan of Jared Goff. It would be a good game
because there would be two bad teams playing each other.
It'd be electric. But like for me, the Lions defense might be worse than the Falcons defense. I'm not huge unless they added people that I'm just not aware of. I'm not huge on their secondary at all. They don't have a pass rusher at all. And oh no, but now they have Hutchinson, so they drafted him. But like, okay, it's one guy. I guess that's fine. But like after that, I don't know anybody else really too well on their defense. Their offense like is partially loaded. I agree. Like you have Swift, you got DJ Shark, you got Jameson Williams coming back, Amon St. Brown, Hockenson, blah blah blah. I got it. And they have a decent O line, but you also have Jared Goff at quarterback.
Right.
Where the Falcons have Marcus Mariota, where Marcus Mariota had one of his best number-wise with the Titans as Arthur Smith was his offensive coordinator, which people forget about a lot of times. So that's why I think Marcus Mariota now jumps, does pretty well. It's going to have a decent year at least, right? And he has a few weapons. Like Drake London could prove a little bit. Kyle Pitts is a beast. Patterson kind of fits this role, which they're kind of looking for, maybe that fast guy that catches the ball out of the backfield a little bit. Sure. But that's why I keep saying, like, all right, you're saying bottom 3, which I hope as a Falcons fan, like, I don't want to see them lose, but like, I kind of hope, like, I know we need a quarterback. I get it. But in the same sense, you look at some other.
You're trying to get into the Bryce Young sweepstakes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, or CJ Stroud or whatever. That's fine. Like, I know we need a quarterback, but like, then you also look at these other teams that are really bad, and it's like, well, are they that bad though? Like, Lions come to mind. Like, obviously, Chicago. I don't like Chicago. I think they're the worst.
Seattle will be bad.
Seattle's going to be bad. Like, I think the Falcons are better than Seattle.
Right.
In my opinion.
All right, let's see. Who else is... Let's look on the AFC side.
Like, Texans. Are the Texans better than the Falcons?
No.
Okay. The Jaguars.
Jaguars are better.
Okay. All right. Like, I think it's close. Like, I think that one's a little bit closer. But I'll give the edge to the Jags.
All right, so you guys will be around that 3 to 5 range, I think.
Okay. And then, all right, so in our division, Carolina, you're saying Carolina's gonna be better than the Falcons?
Barely.
Barely. Okay. All right, that's fine. Because like that's the things like that when people are
I think by the end of the year, Matt Corral's going against Desmond Ridder in one of these games at the end of the year.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Is the Falcons need to decide like early on, like maybe week 4, week 5, if they're like really looking bad, to just honestly give Ridder the chance. Like just give him the shot.
Because then if you guys are in the bottom, you guys got to decide if you're going to go for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. Don't get me on Ohio State quarterback started. Do not go the CJ Stroud route. If you get Bryce Young, sure, go for it. But don't do the Ohio State quarterback thing. It never pans out.
Yeah. So that's why, like, when people like they were like, oh, they're gonna be really bad this year, and I'm like, look, as a Falcons fan, I kind of hope they are because I know this team is nowhere near playoff ready, or Super Bowl ready. Completely agree. I don't argue with you there. But are they that bad? No. Vegas has them set at, I think, 4, maybe 4.5. Like, I like the over in that.
I think they could push. They would be around 4 or 5 for me.
So, like,
Well,
obviously,
look at the schedule. Let's see.
yeah. Let's look at the
Staring at
schedule here, right?
it.
So they go Saints to start,
L
and okay, so L. I'll go L2. Rams away, L.
L 0-2.
Then they got to go to Seattle.
Coin flip.
I'll give it to them. Let's give them a dub.
All right, 1-2.
1-2. At home versus the Browns. I'll give them the L.
Yeah, even with no Deshaun Watson, probably losing that one. 1-3.
Yeah, 1-3. Then they're at the Bucks. 1-4. They're at home against the Niners. 1-5. Bengals they're at the Bengals. 1-6. Yeah, it's not a good start here, but
right there. All right. Okay, keep going. 1-6.
1-6. So now you're home against the Panthers. I think they win.
That's where you put Ritter in at quarterback because your season's already over.
Yeah,
Carolina.
I agree.
That's where you have to commit. Right there.
Fair enough.
You get Mariota. You use him through that onslaught to take the heat. That's where you commit. All right, you're playing Carolina. It's a winnable game. That's where you can let Ritter out and see what he can do.
Fair enough. I like it. I mean, it's fair enough because if you put him in there, 3 out of your 4 games are home. So
Right.
I think that's a good spot. Even though, like, the Mercedes-Benz doesn't really do anything for you, like, as a home because the Falcons have no home advantage there because they suck and their fans don't come out. So,
True.
But no. So, like, Carolina, you're sitting at 2-7, 2-6. I'm sorry, 2-6. You're home against the Chargers. That's a loss. 2-8. Or no, 2-7. Excuse me. Now you're away at the Panthers again. I know you might want to say it, but the Falcons have the Panthers numbers sometimes. I don't know why.
I'm going to give him the L because we gave him the win already. So just
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. I might have them 3 because I actually think they might sweep the Panthers. I got some weird thing against the Panthers.
Okay.
I don't know why.
That's fair.
So you're
That's
3
where you'll probably see Matt Corral at quarterback probably too.
You might. So you're 2-8. I'm 3-7. They got the Bears at home. I think that's a dub.
Yeah, 3-8.
They got Washington at Washington.
Ah, crap.
That's a game right there, right?
That's going to decide your guys' season, probably.
This is where it comes down to be because this is a game right here. The Falcons be like, they should lose this game. There's no reason for them to win this game. And then for some reason, Washington now needs to win this game because they have like 6 or 7 wins. They're right on the playoff hunt. Like, Carson Wentz is back, is against the wall, and they're gonna be like, oh, we gotta win. And this is the shit Falcons win.
Lays an egg. This is Carson's lay an egg game. It has
absolutely
all over it.
Absolutely. Falcons win this game. So then they're at 3 or 4 wins now. They go up against the Steelers. They're going to beat the Steelers at home. Here we go. We're going streaking, boys. They play the Saints. They're going to beat the Saints. They're playing the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's going to be out at this time. They're beating the Ravens. Then they're going to play Arizona.
I'm taking Tyler Huntley over you guys.
No, take that out. No. Then they play Arizona at home. They're beating Kyler and his dumb contract that he got. It's ridiculous. They're going to think they're all that. The Falcons are going to win because they're a better bird. I'm taking the Falcons. Then they go up against Tom Brady week 18. It don't even matter because they're already in the playoffs. They're winning it. They're going to have 7 wins on the season at least. And the Falcons are going to be back, baby. They're back. We're going streaking.
Oh my God.
They're going streaking, baby. We're going streaking.
Oh my God. You're giving your guys stuff like the garbage time wins. I love it.
Oh yeah, Atlanta's gonna be back, baby. Atlanta's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot.
Oh, so 5 wins. Got it.
7 wins. They're on the season. Hammer now. It's gonna be
hammer it. Hammer the over.
7 wins. Atlanta's back, baby. This team's back.
Oh my God.
You're lucky it's not September because I might talk myself into this team making the playoffs.
Oh, good Lord. No way. Somebody get this man off of the 4th man up now.
We're back. We're back. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Great.
It's going to be great.
So, okay, let's run through it. We have I've got Tampa Bay at about 12 wins. You think that's about fair? I got
12, 13. I think I got them at 13, but yeah. Fair
All
enough.
right, I got them at 12. I got New Orleans I'm going to give them 9.
I think 10. 10,
Okay.
and they're going to
I
slide
think
in.
they're going to be. I think they're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Carolina. I'm going to go with. I think they're going to get. I'll go 5.
6. I'll go 6.
And then I'm going ATL 5. I think Carolina and Atlanta are going to push this year.
Well, I just gave the Rams, so they're getting 7.
7
So
is going to get 7.
7 wins.
Oh,
Absolutely.
my goodness gracious. I can't believe you just
I might have to adjust the Panthers now that I said the Falcons are getting 7. The Panthers might have to go down to 5. So they might have to drop to 5 for
You're
me.
going to sweep them, according to you. You're going to sweep
Oh,
Carolina.
yeah, we're sweeping them. We got Carolina's number, baby.
So I love how you guys are going to. Mario's going to get the can after 1 win, and Ritter's going to get you 4. For me, 6 for you. You think Ritter's going to get you 6 wins?
Mariota might shock the world, baby. He's a Heisman winner now.
Oh my goodness! Don't get me started on Heisman winning quarterbacks.
But no, I think in all reality, like I think for me, the teams that come out of here playoff wise is definitely gonna be the Bucks. I think the Bucks honestly probably could be a 1 seed. Honestly, I'd be shocked if they're anything outside the 2 seed.
Yeah, I think they'll be a top 2 seed. I think Tom's gonna push them to get the 1 though.
I fully think they're gonna be 1. But see the thing is, like, you got to think about division wise, right? So you have 6 games, excuse me, in your division, right? That you have to play.
Go 5-1.
The probably 5-1. Anything less than that's unacceptable for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But when you look at the Rams will be lucky to get out 4-2.
Yeah, I think Niners will get them once, and I think Cardinals will probably get them once.
So like there's a game there. So you got to think about stuff like that, and I really think the Bucks really should get the 1 seed, and if they get 2, fine. But anything below 2, I'd be shocked. Like something would have to happen with that, like
right.
for a reason
I
to
think
drop
the
that
Rams
low.
and the Bucks have separated themselves as the 2 front runners in the NFC.
Sure. And then I like I said, I think the Saints slide in. I think the Saints slide in somewhere that 6 or 7 spot, somewhere in there. That's what I think. But the rest of them are just going to be, Carolina and Falcons are going to slide down and be in the draft. But yeah, absolutely, that's what I'm thinking.
No, that's interesting. I like it. I like those thoughts. I don't agree with your 7 wins. I think it's just because you have number 7 on your jersey right now, so it's kind of got you in the feels a little bit of confidence. But Joe, thank you so much for your wardrobe changes, your hot takes. I love it. Let the people know. I know you've kind of been dropping your stuff already a couple episodes ago, but let the people know again where to catch the 4th man up and yourself.
Absolutely. Catch the 4th man up. We're on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Play, or Google Play, excuse me, and Apple Podcasts. But we should actually be back in the next couple weeks to start doing some NFL previews and then get rocking and rolling for the rest of the fall and winter. But yeah, we're going to definitely hop back onto it soon. So make sure you tune in there. We'll definitely have some Boz's bets. Everyone knows Boz. If you listen in, yeah, kick a bet. We got a couple other new hosts coming in. We're trying to get some interviews, and we'll get rocking and rolling from there.
Love to hear it, my man. Always a pleasure to have you on the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. Can't wait to have you on again, my friend.
Absolutely. Good time.
Everybody, subscribe. Go follow the 4th man up. And, always hit that subscribe button for the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. Go follow us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. We've got it. We're on all those platforms. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Be on the lookout for the next NFC division. It's either going to be the West or the East. We don't know. Scheduling in the works. But that was our edition of the NFC South divisional breakdown. Mikey Vick with Joe Ciccoletti is signing off. Blaine Spencer, enjoy your day, everyone. Be safe.